and earthlings. This is the Khulubian, aka Horoscope, aka Space Pimpin', aka Kutski, man of many names. Caleb was my first one. I want to start a YouTube channel, so I'm gonna. I'd like to do it in a fashion where I teach you some of the wisdom I've picked up along my journeys. So, before I get to that, I'd prefer to tell y'all my story up until now. How the fuck a man like me came to be the man that you see currently. Anyways, I'm gonna start from the start. This will be a 2, 3, 4 part little mini series. I'll call it the Khulubian Chronicles. And once I'm done that, we'll get into the meat of what the fuck I know. And here we go. So I'm going to start at the start. Born here, obviously. I've lived most of my life on the east coast of Canada. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. And assumedly in the future, as time goes on, there will be more that don't know me that will consult this as a reference for who the fuck's saying what the fuck to them. So I was born in St. John. I lived in this small town, Oak Hill. So near Hospital St. John. Born there, lived in Oak Hill for 3 years. Nothing particular happened there that I can remember too much because I was fucking 3 years old. I was told that there was bats in our belfry. That means the attic. So that plays a part in my life later. Had a cat, had a dog. And where the fuck did I put that drink? Give me a minute here. So anyways, after 3 years there, moved to Campbellton via my dad's job. My dad's a churchman, a minister. So they tend to move around if they feel to do so. So Campbellton was her choice. I have my auntie there, his sister. So grew up being babysat by her 3 daughters. Basically have 3 extra sisters. It's lovely. Shout out Jill, Julie, Chet. Love you all. So Campbellton, obviously I remember more because I was older than 3. Lived there 10 years. Growing up, I was a bully. I was very much a bully. I did not like kids. I did not like humans. I wasn't your typical bully. You read a lot of bullshit. Some bullies have like deep-seated issues and insecurity and blah 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 blah. I ain't that typical mold. I usually beat you up because you were a piece of shit. It's more vigilante, self-appointed vigilante. I don't know what catastrophe a fucking 7-year-old can cause by being a piece of shit, but I was gonna let that catastrophe come to fruition. So some ass I got to kicking. Got in trouble a lot. Suspended a few times. Sorry, Mom. That to me is the most significant thing, I guess. Can stick out from Campbellton. Beat up a lot of kids. Met one of my lifetime best friends there. So that was cool. Shout out Riley. One of my friends from Campbellton moved to Moncton, where I would eventually move before me. So that just seems like a fated encounter, doesn't it? You know, we're following each other through life. So hold him near and dear. And yeah, so he got the fuck out of there a couple years before I got out. Campbellton's a cool little town. It's a little town. So I mean, you get little town issues with little towns, and you get little town charm with little towns. It was pretty cool because it was it bordered Quebec. It was divided by the Restigouche River, so there's a bridge. I didn't get to indulge in this part when I was there, but as a teen, I would have made good fucking use of it because you traveled a minute across the bridge. You're in Quebec. Legal drinking age is dropped a year to 18 instead of 19, and booze is cheap as a motherfucker. You could get fucking 12 packs for $12, basically. So beer was cheap, smokes were cheap. It was on reserve, so that helps with the cheapness. Anyways, I indulged in that a little bit later on in life, but had I been a teenager growing up there, God knows, I caused enough damage as a teenager growing up here. So, probably for the best. Anyways, um, that was that. Moved when I was 13 to Moncton. Um, was pissed off about it. I had all my friends camped in already. Punch a hole in the wall like 2 days before we left. I was fucking mad. But Moncton wasn't that bad. We kind of got a choice, my sister and I. My dad went and interviewed at a couple churches. We went to Sussex, St. John, and Moncton. And my sister and I both agreed Moncton. I said it had skate snow, so we should probably go there. And my sister said it had Magic Mountain, so we should probably go there. So, based on the fact that they had those two fucking venues, voila, in Moncton. Terrible. By the time I hit Moncton, I was skateboarding. I'd been skateboarding. I think I started around 10 or so. It was so-so. I knew some tricks. Wasn't a chump. Moved there. Of course, didn't know anybody. We would vacation in Shediac throughout my years in Campbellton and a couple of my years in Moncton. So I knew some people from Memram Cook because they had trailers in Shediac too. So I had a bit of connects, but none that would serve me well in the school I was about to go to. So I also had long hair, skater kid, whatever. I guess I should tell the story of skateboarding a bit. My mom put me in team sports growing up. Fucking terrible at those. I mean, I told you already I was a bully. I didn't like people. So, yeah, I got kicked out of T-ball. I joined it with my friend. He got bumped up to real baseball. I'm still there hitting it off the fucking tees. Not pleased. The game I played after that he got bumped up, I was just over it. And this kid, I was up to bat, and this kid's whatever, the pitcher, and not even the pitcher, he can't be. It's fucking T-ball. Where the fuck he is, he's yelling at me like, swing bada bada, swing bada bada. No, not fucking having it. I dropped the bat, I walked right up to him, just punched him in the fucking gut. The crowd of parents were booing me. My mom was not pleased. We got the fuck out of there real quick. And never went back. Then she put me in soccer. We were calling some girl Pretzel just because it annoyed her. She wound up kicking me in the nuts and one of my other friends in the nuts, like mid-game. Coach was like, what's going on? She tells him, he tells us, like, can't be doing that, obviously, and says, if you guys want to play, you got to come sit 3 games, and then we'll let you back on the field. Suck my dick. I pissed in that guy's shoes and then left. Fuck that. I beat up his brother the next day at school. His little brother. Coach was, I don't know, fucking 16. God knows. He was teaching like a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds. So, yeah, pissed in his shoes, left, beat up his brother the next day at school. Fuck soccer. I'm out. Shout out Mudvayne, though. I played soccer with a kid who said, I think his name was Noah, but he's like, I don't like Noah. You can call me Mudvayne. So, shout out Mudvayne. Then they put me in tennis. I guess they tried me out for hockey. I went to hockey. I was a moron. I had this fucking plastic hockey stick. I had the curve on it, like you could fit a fucking orange through there. And we were going to the tryouts or whatever, and they got me this wooden stick. I'm like, no, like I want this plastic stick. Not even understanding. I would have slapped that once on the ice, it would have shattered smithereens, but I was a little kid, I didn't know. So I get in there, and they're like, he can't skate very well, and I couldn't fucking skate. And then they're like, well, maybe you should try figure skating for a little bit, then come back. Bruh, I'm fucking 8 years old. I'm not going figure skating. And this is old school times. Figure skating is a girl sport. I'm not fucking Elvis Costoico, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm not going in figure skating. Like, suck a bag of dicks. Teach me. I'm fucking 7 years old. Anyways, so no hockey for this guy, nor his fucking plastic stick. So hockey was out. Tennis was my last go. Tennis I was all right at. Tennis is a little more independent, We had a coach, but it was one-on-one. More my speed. Did all right. Playing a little, like, round robins tournament amongst us youngsters. Probably maybe 9 at this point. Some shit. Maybe 10. All's going well. I beat this kid, and he didn't take that well. So he came up to me and took his racket and fucking swatted me. Cheap shot. I had my back turned. He fucking sliced me back of the legs or some shit. So, tit for tat, I turned around. I just fucking gunned him with my racket. Smacked him in the front of his face. Not no bitch move. And his mom was there. She saw the whole thing. Just freaked the fuck out. Yelling at the coach. Blah, blah, blah. Just tore into the coach. Why are you letting this maniac on the field type thing. Or on the courts. Coach kind of was just stuck in a predicament. I think coach's name was Adam. So, shout out to Adam. And he was just like, Caleb, yeah, I think you gotta go. Ain't nothing to me. Not the first time I've been down this road. Kicked out enough of these goddamn sports. So, across from the tennis court was the skate park. I'd had a pair of rollerblades. I think I'd been there maybe once or twice, but I'd see the kids, like, skating, BMXing and shit. So, once I got kicked out of that, I was like, well, I want a skateboard. Like, I want to skate. Skateboarding looked so fucking cool to me. There's this kid that would go there, and I swore I saw him do a Smith grind. Some of y'all might not know what a Smith grind is, but it's not the hardest grind. It's just, it looked so fucking cool to me. I met that kid later on in life, like, and just was like, man, I looked up to you. So, like, you were inspirational. And then he was just like some dude. I don't know, man. In my mind, he was a god at that age, and turns out he was but a pleb. So, anyways, I got a skateboard. Toys R Us Moncton. Came down to Moncton, got myself a X Games Complete. It wasn't that bad as far as completes go. I had pretty decent trucks. They're metal at least. All y'all, if you ever fucking ridden any Walmart completes or fucking shitty completes like this, you know the deal with the trucks. They're like cast iron, or not even cast iron. Cast fucking styrofoam aluminum blend, it seems. Those shits fucking break. You don't really have trucks break in that way too often. So anyways, got my first skateboard. Just a sec here. That was cool. So started that. And then fast forward, I'm here in Moncton skating. We move in the summer, of course. Here's another fucking stupid story. So when we chose our house here, we knew which neighborhood we'd be living in, so thus got me, like, applied to the school, let them know I'd be coming there next year, essentially. So we went for this, like, interview, just a kind of rundown or whatever. So we meet the guy basically looked like a fucking, like a hobbit / gremlin. He was the principal of that school. Funny looking man. Anyways, I see all these kids wearing these TLC shirts, and at the time, Lisa Left Eye Lopez had just died. So, if some of y'all know who TLC is, and some of y'all don't, and that's not my problem. But, anyways, so I was like, the fuck is this school, man? I'm trying to vibe out this school, and like, all these kids wearing these TLC shirts, like, man, they must have been hit hard by the death of Lisa Left Eye Lopez. So I'm like, and to me, TLC was kind of chick music, Like, I was maybe listening to some Eminem, some Vines. I think I might have had the Strokes CD around then. So I'm into, like, what we would call garage rock or so at the time. And these motherfuckers just like, and I'm telling you, like 20, 30 kids wearing these fucking TLC shirts. And it was not really a TLC shirt I'd seen before, but I also had never seen a fucking TLC shirt before, so who knows what the fuck they're supposed to look like. I'm like, alright, these guys are all fans of this. So we go to the interview with the guy. The guy's like, yeah, just bring a book and some pencils. Fucking the most half-ass shit. Usually you have a school list for fucking school. So, you gotta get this for that class and that for this class. This fucking long-ass list, bunch of bullshit. This guy tells me to just bring some fucking books and some pencils. Anyways, sure enough, like a 1 week before school is supposed to start, my mom's shopping and she finds some lady. She has has the school list, and it was like detailed as fuck. You need this color book for this class, this color book for this class, and all I had was some fucking pencils and erasers at this point. So my mom was a little livid at that fucking dipshit, and needless to say, mama hooked it up, got it all sorted. So, anyways, I start class awkward. I'm the only guy there with with long hair. So that part is whatever. Uh, Turns out they put me in the English class too. Nothing bad about that, just I was supposed to be in fucking French immersion. I've been learning French since grade 1, I guess. Anyways, I didn't say nothing. The first day I was like, well, maybe it'll turn French in a couple days. I don't know. They started off easy. We'll do English first. Anyways, they didn't turn to French, so by the end of the week I got it figured out, and then I had to go through the whole fucking process again, getting shoved in the French class. Now I'm a weirdo there. I sort of made some friends a little bit in the English class. They're all nice to me. Shout out Nathan, Eldon. So anyways, they get me fucking situated in the French class, and there's definitely a bit of a divide. Like, the French class is a little more bougie, and the English class is a little more ghetto. Should put a gangster like me in the ghetto, I guess, but whatever. They put a player like me in the French class. Just a sec here. Grab my fucking ashtray. So anyways, I get hooked up in the French class. I'm a sore thumb, you know, like I said, I'm a skater and I got long hair, and it's not like I came from that in Campbellton. That was just who I chose to be. You know, I saw the skateboarders, got into skateboarding, saw this kid with long hair one time, and went into the hairdresser. I was like explaining what I saw. I was like, no, he had like the hair came out of the back of his hat, like looked really cool. Like, give me that haircut. I had buzz hair at the time. She's like, listen, like you gotta grow your hair out. So, anyways, lesson learned. Grew my hair out. Blah blah blah. Ran into a typical for me coming age story. I was in grade 4 or some shit, and I had this long hair, and these girls were teasing me like, "You look like a girl." I was fucking distraught, man. They got to me, so I begged my mom to go get me my haircut, and I did. I went to school the next day. I felt like such a fucking chump. I was so mad at myself. It's like 9 years old, you know, because I think back about my life. I'm giving you the notes right now, but I'll give you the revised notes after I fucking figured out who the fuck I was and what the fuck was really going on. But clearly I had some sort of knowingness that was just a bitch move. So I said fuck it and grew my hair back out. So just basically have had long hair ever since, minus one brief period a few years ago when I cut my hair myself and looked like a fucking French lady, basically. Anyways, she's back now, and I'm flowing and growing. So anyways, get put in this class. All these kids are like soccer, fucking gym shorts, Adidas, Nike. I'm there like proud as hell in my Element t-shirt. And so it was like, all right, fuck these lamos. So I didn't do nothing. I was like, I thought it was just like too fake to like try and be friends or make friends. So I just would go out of recess and sit on a fucking little hill. Just sit there, just like, all right, this is my life, you know. And I guess I'd made peace with it. I was like, whatever, you know, no friends. They'll come maybe sometime, but not right now. So anyways, Matt and Ashley, shout out to both them. Saints, they were the first ones to approach me and be like, you know, what's your fucking deal? Where are you from? So I told them Campbellton. They asked me if I had an accent. And I was like, fuck, I got an accent? I didn't know I had an accent. I think in Campbellton they say there a lot. Like, oh, down there, you know, there, blah, 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 there. So I might have been saying some of the shit like that. Anyways, I knew nothing about accents at that time. I was just fucking skateboarding and whatever. So, anyways, they invited me to hang out, like, after school. That was just, God bless them, you know. Like, though I made my peace with being alone and having no fucking friends, still want friends. And, yeah, so they really did a nice thing. by asking me to hang out. So hung out with them a little bit, and then they sort of like merged me into the crew. Now, like I said, all the dudes, they were just like sports, badminton, fucking whatever was going on. I already been kicked out of all that shit, homie. I'm not going down that road again. I might try it out for badminton. Fucking didn't make the team. That hurt a little bit. Went to intramurals once. Got picked last. That hurt a bit. But fuck it, you know. Life isn't just peaches and roses, as everybody says. So, anyways, by the end of grade 7, all the boys had fucking long hair, played tech decks, and were skateboarding. So, kudos me, I guess, you know. I don't know how to think about that. You know, it wasn't really orchestrated. I've heard friends relay the sort of experience they had meeting me, and it was like, dude, one of my friends said the funniest shit. Sorry, fucking ashtray. Alright. He said the funniest shit to me. He's like, dude, I saw you in grade 7. I was like, great. The English class got another ugly girl. Thought I was a fucking chick because I had the long hair. Anyways, I got a picture of us, grade 7. Grade 8 prom, really. Everybody just had the flows going. So, that's kudos to your boy. But again, it wasn't what I was like, yo, you should grow your hair out. You should skate. It's just like, I was just me. It's just me. And they took to that, I guess. So, it was cool because then I had friends to skate with. I had friends play tech deck at lunch with. In Birchmount, they had no fucking cafeteria, which is a little more typical for an elementary school in Canada. In fucking, do I need to say this? In the middle class, fucking cats complain all about this privilege shit. I came to where I came to, and that's that, you know. We all have it the ways we have it, and I'm not shitting or saying anything about anything. I'm just saying, for context, that's the field I was playing in. So, anyways, we had to eat lunch in our fucking classroom. It was kind of weird. I came from a smaller town where we had cafeterias, good cafeterias too. Fucking Campbellton. Shout out to Campbellton Middle School. Poutine for fucking lunch. Kids probably know nothing about that these days. They put all that hell shit in schools, but fuck, we had a good, cheap too. Saw some funny shit. I'm gonna backtrack. There's a story I'll tell about. I was in Campbellton, of course, middle school. So, come middle school, I kind of stopped beating up kids because when I left from elementary and got to middle school, there's kids bigger than me, and so I had a discussion with myself going into grade 5. Like, dude, I think like you got to put the fighting shit to rest because you know these kids can kick your ass and that's probably not cool, you know. Didn't want to tarnish my win streak. So, anyways, put the fighting on hold, but it didn't make me any less of a dick, you know. Figure out ways to fucking fuck around. We'd snort pixie sticks to sneeze colors. Fucking whatever. We'd be like crushing rockets under our chair legs and just stupid shit. I remember a kid brought a fucking tub of like purple Kool-Aid to school and it was like, game's on, man. We were just like, just whatever, and then sneezing fucking purple. Like, yeah, this is, we've figured out life. So, anyways, that was a fad for a bit. Spitballs. I'll say this because I have terrible aim. I've straight up missed a stop sign from like 3 feet in front of me. Any of my friends who've done some dirt with me, they know like Caleb's not hitting no target. If I do, it's fluke, you know. And I was never good at. I was okay with that. I was good at everything, so I don't need to have it all. But anyways, I was wicked good at these spitballs. I like pinpoint target precision, and so it stuck out to me because I knew already, like, dude, I can't fucking hit shit dead straight in front of me. But the spitballs, I was just like, gunning. I caught this fucking teacher through like a good 10 feet. Then there was a doorway, and he just happened to be walking in the hallway, and I just, boom, right in the neck. Motherfucker didn't even know what happened. He was looking up at the ceiling. He didn't know, no fucking thought that would come from the cafeteria. This guy, Fucking sharpshooter with the fucking spitballs. So anyways, proud of that. But the story I wanted to tell was Gino. Fucking shout out Gino. Gino is a little hellion. I love Gino. Gino came from like a little more hood part of Campbellton, and I'll bring him probably, social services, look into that. But he was just wild card, and so he'd fight. I saw him throw a fucking garbage can at a substitute teacher on recess. So he got caught doing some shit. And like me and Gino, we used to fight each other. I got a little fucking scar on one of my eyes because he fucking stabbed me in the face with a wood chip. I stabbed him right back in the back multiple times. He got fucked up too. I don't know why we just fucked each other up that day. We were friends, whatever, fighting with wood chips, stabbing each other like fucking inmates, whatever. So he got caught for some shit one recess, and the substitute. I don't know how substitute teachers did it or do it. I mean, maybe it's easier for them now. Kids are not maybe as rough as we were, but fuck, we would terrorize them. So this guy, poor guy, was like, and he knew nothing about Gino. He didn't know what the fuck he was walking into. Just like, Gino, whatever the fuck you did, you gotta go time out. So he brings him over, and the timeout place was like in front of the door that led back to school. The garbage can there, of course. Anyways, the guy brings him up, kind of puts him on the step, like, stay here, turns his back. Gino grabs a garbage can, just fucking pelts it at him, hits him in the back. Guy falls down. Funny shit. Anyways, that's not even the story. I'm just painting the picture, Gino. So, Gino, easy fucking name for kids come up with, Gino Cappuccino. These older kids, they're fucking, they might have been a year older. We're sitting at the table, and it's like picnic table styles in this cafeteria. So there's long picnic tables. He's on one side, they're on the other, and they're like, Gino Cappuccino, and he's getting mad, and he's had enough. So he just stands up, and he just starts fighting one of these kids, and just punch him in the face. Then he jerseys the kid, alright? So that's funny. But the part that stuck out the most to me is there's this kid, Godfrey, if you're still around, God bless you. He was had something going on with him. He had to wear this helmet, like he had TA. I don't know officially what it was. They said he had soft bones. I don't know if that's a thing, but basically what we were told was he was mush, and he had to be like, he was strapped into a wheelchair and whatever, and there's obviously some medical term to whatever the fuck he had, but to us, Godfrey was soft bones. So Godfrey was soft bones sitting there with his lunch, and Gino looks at the lunch, and he goes to grab the tray because he wants the tray to beat the shit out of this kid with, but Godfrey has got all his meal and shit on it. So he goes to grab the tray, and he stops. And this is why I found it was so funny. It was the split second of courtesy, realization, and Gino's in the thick of a fight right now. He pauses, and he goes to yank the tray, stops, and then he takes all the shit off the tray real quick, do, and then just grabs the tray and just proceeds to fucking start whacking this kid with it. Scott. Fucking just dummied Scott with this tray, and it was epic, man, because Gino was a little guy, Scott was a little bit bigger than him, Scott was older than him. He fucking had him jerseyed, they beat this fucking tray over the top of his head multiple times, tossed the tray, and then grabbed Godfrey's Orange Crush and just dumped it all over Scott. Just put Scott in his place. Nobody called Gino Cappuccino after that day, I can tell you that. So anyways, the fight had to get split up, of course. We had this big burly janitor guy come over, picked up Gino, shoved him under his arm, and just walked away with Gino like he was a fucking briefcase. Gino was short. We were kids, but Gino was I don't know what the fuck, maybe 4 feet, definitely not 5 feet. Anyways, this janitor's walking away with Gino, and Gino's just yelling rape. He's raping me. I didn't even know what the hell that was at the time. Anyways, funnier now that I know. But anyways, that was cool. That was shout out Gino. Made my grade 5 day that day, I guess. Anyways, and the cafeteria, good cafeteria. So this is all a backtrack to say the cafeteria in Birchmount, eating in our class, no cafeteria. We'd bring packed lunch. They'd have this shit I think it was every other week called hot lunch, and so you pay $5.25. You get 2 pieces of ham and hamburger pizza from Greco, and a chocolate milk if you wanted, or white milk. I don't know why you would get white milk as a kid, but It was an option. Anyways, so I've hated ham like almost all my life. So I'd be there picking off these ham chunks, and like these motherfuckers must have been making bank because they would just order these party pizzas. Y'all who are not from the East Coast don't know about Greco, but Greco is this pizza joint down here, and it's been an in stew for a long time. 310 30 Greco 310 30 woo. That's their little jingle, and that's their phone number. So if I'm ever in some jam out somewhere that's not here, and they ask for a phone number, 310 30 all day, motherfucker. So, anyways, they would order these party pizzas, which were these large rectangle pizzas that came with like, quote me, don't quote me, 24 slices, I think. And they'd be charging $5.25. And you get 2 slices. And like, why the fuck is this ham and hamburger? Who the hell's choosing these toppings? Like, I never seen this shit before. Fucking ham. Anyways, I pick all the ham off my pizza and I have a hamburger pizza once every 2 weeks on Fridays. So we had no cafeterias. We were sitting in our class. And so, of course, I would bring Tech Deck to school. I'd bust them out, have them in my lunchbox, whatever, and just have multiples. So taught the kids how to play Tech Decks, and needless to say, we all had Tech Decks at the end of the day. We were building, like, fucking rails and shit in shop class. It was good times. It was good times, really, because it started with me just sitting on a hill and making peace with the fact that I'd never have no friends again. So, wound up for the better in the end. So, anyways, that's that. Grade 7, grade 8, spent at Birchmount. Then it was high school. High school. Fucking high school. Loved it, really, but I got braces on in grade 8. I got them on Valentine's Day. I remember this because I had this chick I liked, and they fucking slapped the braces on me, and I came, and I did not feel like hot shit no more. I had this goddamn fucking wire fence on my teeth. No. So, anyways, good teeth now, thanks, mama, but fuck, it was hard on the self-esteem as a young man on Valentine's Day, nonetheless. So, anyways, that, had to make peace with that, of course. Fuck it, this is what I got. 2 years of my life, 3 years of my life, 2.5 years, I think, some shit. So, anyways, whatever. Graduate. Oh, I never told you I never finished this TLC shit. So, I saw these TLC shirts, assumed all these kids were into fucking TLC, mourning the death of Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I get there the following year and realize TLC is the Leadership Corps. It's like this sort of like try-hard fucking volunteer program that you could get into if your grades were suitable enough. And allegedly this might look good on a resume. Fuck if I know. Stupid ass shit. I got kicked out of that, of course. I fucking had some grades good enough in grade 8. Got put on. Bullied some bitch. And away I went off that. So fucking fuck you, Leadership Corps. Should have been TLC. Would have been cooler. So, yeah, I also kind of felt like an idiot when I was, like, realized it was the Leadership Corps. It's like, I guess this makes more sense than all these kids mourning the death of Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Like, I don't know. I was just trying to put it together in my brain, whichever way possible when I saw it. And then I find out, so I giggled to myself, like, fuck you. That wasn't that. So, anyways, I got kicked out a lot of things, I guess. Always been a bad boy. Fuck. So, graduate, Birchmount, go to high school. So high school kind of pulled the same maneuver in a way. High school, the friend group just like, it just split real quick. I mean, we had 5 other schools coming in, I guess, something like this. So there's a bunch of kids I ain't never met. And my friends from Birchmount, like, some of them had met these kids due to, like, hockey and, like, sports that they figured out how to not to get kicked out of, that they knew them. So these new friend circles formed and kind of was put back at square one again. Like, fuck it. So met one of my my best friends, like, right off the bat. It was in English class. And this is how I remember. I've talked to him about it, like, time and time enough, and this may not be the way he recalls it, but I know what I know. And we're in English class, and some girl says just some stupid-ass question. And, you know, she raised her hand to, like, voice this fucking morality. And so I'm just giggling because this is just some dumb shit, you know? It's kids being kids, you know? I'm not fucking... You take what you will, but, like, when I say dumb bitch, she was a dumb bitch. Maybe she ain't a dumb bitch now, but I don't know that. All I know is she was stupid as fuck in this moment of time. And so I'm giggling. And nobody else is giggling except one giggle. I hear this giggle out, like... And so I look over... And I see this other kid who's giggling. I know this fucking kid. I'm fucking... So, kind of look at each other like... Yeah, like, this stupid bitch, you know? We were bonded for life in that moment. Anyways, saw him at lunch later that day and just like... Yo, that bitch. Yeah, that bitch. We've been friends ever since. So, that's where my friend circle started. Shout out Justin. Still my homie. Anyways. Yeah. Formed a new friend circle in time. I hung out with this kid, Dan. I won't say your last name, but Schmokes. Schmokes was a nickname for him. So Schmokes, some type of wild card, we'll say. And so this kid, he skated. He had a leather jacket, tight pants. My cup of tea right there, you know, that's where my head was at. So we became friends pretty easily. Skated, good skater too, fucking good for his age too. Anyways, invited him over to my house once, and my house was always like just the joint. Like my parents were always cool with just like bring kids over, whatever. And my parents did. I'll get into my parents later. Love them, hate them for a bit. Love them again, you know. Growing pains, we'll say. But that's a story for the next part of this. I'll just finish up these high school things. So, anyways, we, me and Dan go over to my house for supper. And my mom's like, we were having pizza. He's like, I don't like pizza. Like, who the fuck doesn't like pizza? Like, what kind of fucking 13-year-old boy doesn't like pizza? Like, you psycho. Anyways, he's like, nah. She's like, well, we got some roast beef leftovers. Like, nah. She's like, well, we make you some Kraft dinner. He's like, nah. And she's like, well, we make you a sandwich. She's like, nah. She's like, toast. Like, nah. Eggs. Nah. And she's like, cereal. He's like, okay. And so this motherfucker eats a bowl of Cheerios while we're eating all this pizza. I'm just looking at him like, what the fuck going on with you, man? And so, anyways, we leave. And we're skating down the street. I'm like, dude, like, I didn't know you didn't like pizza. He's like, oh, I fucking love pizza. I was just seeing how many things your mom would offer me. It's like, you're fucking... He was wild, you know. Shit gone down since, whatever. But me and Schmokes kicking it. Yeah, we did some dirt. Nicked a bunch of tech decks one time from this one place, I will say. And I should have known this was going to end badly because I had some money to get these tech decks. It was just more the thrill of fucking nicking. So nicked some fucking tech decks, and then I was with him and two other friends, and nobody had no money, and we were all hungry. So I was like, well, I'll get us a loaf of bread and some peanut butter. So I cop a loaf of bread and some peanut butter, and my change back was 666. Premonition, omen, whatever you want to say it. So we went back to this other joint, and we'd already nicked a bunch of fucking tech decks from there. We went back, and this is just, like, stupidness. So we went back, seeing a crime, like morons. We're both, like, me and Dan are in leather jackets. My other friends weren't, but, like, we're leather jackets, tight pants. Like, we're clearly distinguishable, is what I'm trying to say. So we leave this joint, and we sit out in front of it, and we're playing with the fucking tech decks we nicked on our skateboards. So manager of the store comes out, sees us. Some guy had said, oh, like, you know, this other customers in the store saw these two leather jacket hooligans looking at the tech decks and giggling. Comes out, there we are playing with tech decks. He's got a mitt full of fucking empty packages. It's like, you stole these. I don't know what came over me, but nah, I didn't, bro. Fucking painting this bullshit story for him about some guy named Lance came and he said, like, he nicked them all and we didn't believe him, so we went in the store to see and we saw him. We were like, oh man, it's true, and he just gave us all these tech decks, and he bounced, and like, the guy you want is Lance, and he's not here. And so the store manager is not buying this story one bit. It's like, you two idiots took all these. The security guard, God bless him, was on my side. He's like, well, you know, kids and blah, blah, blah. And so, anyways, the guy's like, well, we can solve this. He's like, you, points at me, he's like, you come in, we're going to look at the security footage, and you point out Lance. So I'm like, fuck, because I thought he had security footage of the aisles where we done did the dirt that he's accusing us of doing. Nah, he just had security footage of the door, who walked in, who walked out. So I'm sweating bullets. I'm in this little room. He's got this VHS playing. VHS, this is the time. So I'm looking, I'm just like trying to get out. And because I knew a little bit like this was a whole shoddy scenario anyways, because he's got a black and white blurry ass, like this is not even fucking no 240p. This is like just some archaic shit. Like I don't know how this man's gonna pick out this fucking dude. So I'm looking at the screen, like that's him there. And he's like, really? This is a live footage. I'm like, fuck. Already, like there's so many red flags. And this guy knew damn well the truth, but I was not, I wasn't giving up the ghost, so to speak. So I played the game strong. He put the fucking VHS in there, rewind that fucker. The fucking thing jams. He yanks it out, the tape's fucking stringing everywhere. The gods, man, the gods spoke. And he's like, looks at me, he knew, he's like, damn it, like, I don't have you. Like, I know you did this, but I can't even. And so he lets me out of this joint. He's like, I never want to see you back in here again. You're banned for life. And, like, he never took my picture or nothing. So I didn't go into that store for, like, a good 10 years afterwards. But, he knew. He knew it was onto this fucking fable of this Lance person who fucking came and stole all these tech decks and gave them to us and ran away. The security guard, though, he didn't know that. He thought, I got mixed up with the wrong character, and he was a more understanding individual. Because I mean, this is not fucking world-class crime to begin with. It's kids kind of just making mistakes, and ultimately, the fucking $20 worth of tech decks, that store manager can survive without that. But he had a bone to pick, and blah blah blah. And that's understandable. The security guard was like, look, I really think you shouldn't hang out with the Lance character anymore. He doesn't sound like a good influence. And if I were you, I would just, don't come back here for a couple months and do not hang out with that guy again. It's like, yes, sir. I will not hang out with Lance. I will not come here until after 2 months. 666 was my change. And 666 was the cards I was dealt. So, anyways, got the fuck out of there. And went skating still. That day I landed my first kickflip down a set of stairs. I was pretty stoked about that day. Some good shit happened. That shit was just hanging with hooligans doing hooligan shit. So anyways, that's Dan Schmokes. Schmokes, another funny story. We were partying at my friend's place. And so we like drinking. I got into drinking, I'd say a little late. I only had my first drunk experience, I think, grade 10, like midway through. Some of my other friends they've been drinking since grade 9 or grade 8, Anyways, so went over to my friend's house, had this bottle of wine, stole from my parents, shoved in the middle of my sleeping bag. Got fucking drunk on that, I guess. I thought it tasted like shit, so they gave me some fruit juice, mix it with that, like, okay. And I was still, like coherent after this bottle of wine. So I've always wanted to try this drink again since, because at the time I didn't know nothing about drinks. I just was like, I'm finished what I'm done with. Like, can you had some technical difficulties with the microphone. So back to the story about this drink. All right, I finished this bottle of wine. Was like, what else you guys got? So this older kid, Paul, shout out Paul, he's like, I'll get you fixed up. Should have known in hindsight, but whatever. This guy's a weasel. Anyways, he starts mixing me this drink. So he takes a Coors Light, he drinks half the Coors Light, and then he takes some Bacardi white rum, and then fills up the Coors Light, Bud Light, whatever the fuck it was, with white rum. So I'm drinking half Bud, half Bacardi white rum. Loved it. Fucking loved it. Thought it was just, I was like, this tastes way better than the wine. Anyways, got drunk, of course. Nailed with a chick. Yeah. Fucking. It's alright. I had a good time. Alright, so Schmokes was there too. Schmokes got drunk. Another one of our friends was there, got drunk. Whatever. This is a group of teenage boys getting fucking plastered, alright? So the next morning, I should say for one, so I wake up, we're all in the basement of my friend's house, right? And so Schmokes is asleep on this, like, pull-apart sectional. It's like a love seat, essentially, and then it's two parts connected. So you just yank it apart. Paul, fucking stark naked, comes down, and he's standing over Schmokes. And he's like, Schmokes, wake up! Dick in his face and shit. Schmokes wakes up, like, what the fuck? I just, like, I'm on the other couch looking at this, like, fuck, please don't come over here. I don't want no dick in my face. Fucking Paul gets off Schmokes, then pulls apart the couch, and Schmokes falls down the middle, and he just starts slamming Schmokes in between the two fucking sections of the couch. Fucking hilarious. Thankfully, he didn't fuck with me. He fucked with Schmokes, and he just went back upstairs. So whatever. A little while later, there's a knock on the door, and it's one of our friend's parents that was there last night, and he's mad. He's mad. You can tell he's pissed off. So clearly he'd found his son drunk and wanted some fucking answers. So Schmokes opens the door, and I'm kind of behind Schmokes a little bit, and I can sort of see this guy, and Schmokes is like, who the fuck are you? The guy's like, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck are you? And Schmokes is like, something like, I'm the guy that's about to knock you out. Well, the dad just fucking cracks Schmoke in the face. Schmoke just falls down. And at this point, my friend who owned the house came up, and he's like, was Dan here last night? Blah, blah, you know, trying to source out how fucking Dan got drunk. We covered, said no. I don't know if we really covered by saying no, but whatever. Dad left, and Schmoke collected himself, and fuck that guy, man. I'll kick his ass. Schmokes, you're not beating up this fucking 40-year-old man. Like, he just knocked you one punch. Anyways, that's the first time getting load on. And yeah, that opened the window to DT motherfucking P. So come grade 11, got my braces off, hot shit. Stoked. It was, kind of feeling not like I had this fucking fence I was toting around all the time. So this is cool. And got a little more into girls. So partying, girls, chicks, everything cool. And my friend group at this point, it kind of like started to establish itself more. Like, in my mind, how I view it was after I got the braces off, my life sort of just started taking off a little bit. So I was cool, or like they kind of stumbled on the fact that I was cool already. So I think I always was cool. I was just like, I wasn't trying to be parts of their fucking circles. Not that I dislike them. That's not my game to like go try and get in the mix. Like, I just do my own thing. You can come to me. Maybe. I didn't think that way, but it has panned out that way more often than not. Anyways, so these people just started like taking interest in me. That's how it felt. And so suddenly I had more friends, and I just, I'm always been good to my friends. I've definitely been a bully, a prick, an asshole, and all that stuff. But if you're my friend, you're my friend. And though I might tease you or do whatever, I fucking love you. So shout out to all my friends, past, present, and future. But so I had more of this friend group, and so we'd be going partying. Like, I was always like an organizer. If it was a party on the weekend, I'm like calling, figuring out drives, coordinating everything. Getting it all set and done. Sorry, microphone. So, anyways, the friend group's growing. It's growing. We going to house parties and whatnot, and DTP, I have to tell this chapter of my life because for those of you who know me, love me or hate me, DTP may be something you remember. Maybe you don't. I mean, it's high school shit. I'm not trying to go through glory days here. I'm just saying some of them were glory days. That's not really what I'm trying to do, though. I'm just giving you my my history up until now, and then we'll get to obviously some better shit once I have this story out of the way. So DTP was a large part of my high school experience because I basically started a gang. I was a gang leader. It didn't really start out to be a gang. It was just sort of this joke. DTP stands for Down to Party. I stole the logo completely from the Piss Drunks. I was in the skateboarding course, still am. You see back there. Piss Drunks was popular with the Baker Skateboards crew. Dustin Doolin, however the fuck you say it. I think it's Doolin. Jim Greco, Reynolds, the whole fucking gang. Anyways, so I just took the logo, put a fucking T in the middle, and switched the D to the front and the P to the back. So DTP. Voila. Had a logo, made some hats. Always been a fashionista. That ain't the fucking term. But I've liked clothes and, like, you know, made some of my own shit. So, anyways, I would make these hats. I made a couple hats for people. I'd get these hats at the fucking dollar store and just take the paint pens and write DTP across them and then, you know, do some little accent things to them. They were fly. I mean, for fucking grade 11, like, yeah, we're cool. We're chilling. So then one night we were at a party and this kid was like, you know, how do I get into DTP? And I was like, the fuck? Like, you want, like, because this is what I'm saying. Like, I was not the best gang leader because I didn't even know this was a gang until this kid was like, how do I get in? How do I get in? So I'm drunk. I'm just like, all right, well, you got to do an initiation. What's my initiation? I come up with this shit on the fly. Like, I just was like, okay, there's this crabapple tree. There's a bunch of crab apples. I was like, take this apple, put your mouth, and go spit it at that girl right there. So he walks up to this girl, and he spits this apple, just like precision perfect. Hits her in the eye. She's holding the drink, just falls down to her drink. She's like, Dave! Like, she's pissing, like, fuck you, like, I know you from drama class. And just, we cracked up. Motherfucking cracked up. And so Dave was in. I went home the next day, a couple days after, got him a hat, made it, gave it to him. You're part of the crew. And so this just went on. We just had, well, I just had people like, how do I get in? And there's always some fucking stupid shit. Like, I'd be drunk and just, like, think about something funny to see. One kid, I was like, yo, go steal all the light bulbs from the top floor of that house. He's like, okay. He walks up, and I watched the top floor of this house just all these rooms going dark, and he comes down with a fucking, you know, hoodie full of light bulbs. I love light bulbs. So, history about me. One thing we used to do, we would go, well, one thing I encouraged my friends to do was come steal light bulbs with me. And the only reason is you take a little Christmas light bulb and you throw it on the ground and it makes a, there we go, a little more like that. So it's like a pop, like a little mini gunshot or something. So that was it. That was the thrill. So we would go around, and Christmas time, we'd just fucking dummy lights, you know? And if it wasn't Christmas time, you could always go, a lot of houses in my neighborhood near their mailbox had a light, and so you could, some of them were open-ended. You could reach up in, unscrew the fucker, and away you go with a light bulb. So that's cool. So nicking light bulbs was my game for a good couple years. Some funny stories from this. I mean, one night we went out, like, 4 of us. All right, we just stole so many light bulbs. I think we had, like, close to 200. And one of my friends, because we kind of split up. It was like, you know, let's go do this, you know, independently because less heat. So one of my friends comes back, and we called them the Big McSexies. And they were, like, just, I don't know, like this big or so. They're big-ass bulbs. Like, they're just an oversized Christmas bulb. We're like, dude, where the fuck did you get those? Like, those are the fucking god tier, the juice. So he tells us where, Anyways, the next night we go out to nick some of these ones because we all wanted this big fucker. The lady had put Vaseline over like all the reachable lights in, attempts to deter us from getting these light bulbs. Didn't work. We got them. So that night we got a lot of light bulbs, or those 2 nights. There's another night where I got some light bulb stories. I'll finish these light bulb stories, and then I'll pick up the whole DTP stuff in part 2. And yeah, this is just reminiscing. We'll get to some good shit eventually, but hopefully this has been good shit either way. So anyways, one night, me and my friend Justin, we're out, and we're just like, we're the dynamic duo. Like, we called ourselves Twiddle Fingers. We twiddle fingers, get the light bulbs out real quick. So me and him were hitting this house, and we're just boom, boom, boom. It's a big ass spruce tree, and he's got lights strung all up, and we're like double hand, shove in the pocket, shove in the pocket, shove in the pocket. I had myself about like 60, and some of them from a house previous, but we stole at least 30 lights from this guy's house. And so this guy, God bless him, comes out because he sees us both like standing in his yard, and we're just deer in headlights, and he's like, hey, like, can I help you? He thought we were lost. Like, I'm saying God bless him, he was a saint. He did not come out thinking like, what the fuck are you doing in my yard? It was like, hey, can I help you? And we're like, no. And then he looks at the tree and realizes the bottom half of the tree ain't got no fucking lights on it. And he puts 2 and 2 together fairly quick. So we split. We just ran opposite ways. And this always makes me laugh. He's like, hey, get back here, you cocksuckers. I mean, the cocksuckers thing was fucking hilarious. But the get back here, I'm like, when has that ever worked? Like, get back here? Like, oh, yeah. No, I would, that's the best idea to do right now is come back to angry ass you so you can yell at me, do whatever I don't know what justice you're thinking you're going to dish out, but nah, homie, I'm not fucking playing that game. I'm out. I'm gone. We fucking ran opposite ways, met up like just intuitively at some spot. I had like fucking 60, he had like 60, and we were just like, God damn, that was a good day. So, that is a light bulb story. I got 2 more I'm going to tell you, and then I'll end this, and this will be episode 1 of the Khulubian Chronicles. So, second light bulb story. I guess I'll tell this one first. So, I used to have a paper route. I had a paper route, and just terrible. I'm not a morning person, but I got up, and I wanted money because I didn't like getting grounded from my skateboards. And as you guys can put together by now, I was a bad boy. I get grounded enough. So my thought was, if I make some money and I buy my own skateboards, then my parents can't ground me because that's my property. So anyways, sure enough, when I made enough money, got my first skateboard, and then when I got grounded from it, I was like, nah. That's my property. I'm going to call the cops on you for stealing. Dumbass kid logic. My parents are just like, whatever, like grounded me from my cell phone or some shit instead. So at least I got to keep my skateboard. That's what's always been most important. So anyways, shout out skateboard, baby. I love that thing. So anyways, the last day of my paper route, it was a Saturday, and I was just so happy to be done with this. It was just fucking terrible. I think I did it for 2 years, morning after morning. Fuck. So, anyways, there's this one bitch on the paper route. Like, she was my last house, and she would complain, like, not every day, but the fact that she even complained at all, because the newspaper says, like, good morning, 7 a.m., so it's supposed to get there by 7 a.m. I'll get to her, like, maybe the latest I got to her was, like, 7:40 or some shit, but it was, like, you're the last house on my street, and, like, honey, you can read this whenever. Bring it to work with you. Read it after something. Like, I'm a kid. Like, why are you being a cunt? Fuck that bitch. So anyways, I hawked a bunch of loogies in her newspaper last day. Fuck you. So that was fun. But what I did that day is every house I went to that had one of these lights that I'm talking about, like right by the mailbox, put the newspaper in the mailbox with one hand, twiddle fingers that fucking light bulb out there with the other hand, stuff it in the buggy. I had a bike with a buggy on the back, so I was like hiding them all under this thing. I had like 46 light bulbs at the end of my paper route. So this is Saturday. I get home, stash that buggy, and I call up my friend. I'm like, Alex, like, what are you doing, man? You gotta come hang out. I got something to show you. I was so stoked. Came over and he's like, what the fuck? So anyways, needless to say, we went and smashed every single last one of those motherfuckers. So that's light bulbs. Now this is the final story, because this one, I think it's funny. So in high school, there's these twins. Shout out Alex and Andrew. And Andrew is always a little more cool with me. So I would tell him about our light bulb escapades from, whatever weekends or whatever nights we were doing it. And he's not that guy. Like, he's a little more square cut. He's not doing no dirt like that. So he's just kind of like, I can't fucking believe you guys are doing that. Like, that's crazy. You're psycho. You're stupid. You're bad. Blah, blah, blah. And so I would get a kick out of this. And so I'm telling him, and he's just, same reaction. And so one day he comes to school and he's like, yeah, my mom saw these Christmas decorations in your neighborhood. She's like, she said they were lovely. I was like, whereabouts? And he tells me, I'm like, no problem. I'll have them to her tomorrow. He's like, no. That's, it's kind of a weird mixed signal message he was sending, because he's telling a light bulb thief about some light bulbs that his mother liked, and then expecting the light bulb thief to not thief the light bulbs. Andrew, put it together. So you give me this intel. There's only one thing that's happening, and your mama's getting those light bulbs. So anyways, sure enough, that night I told my friend, my twiddle finger dynamic duo, I was like, we get a goal. We actually now have purpose. We're getting these for this lady. And the stupidest part about it is we took these. I mean, of course we took them. That night we went out and and these are like big ass globes, all right? So it's the size of a basketball, bigger. So we took two of them, and I'm pretty sure we smashed one of them because we had to find out what that sounded like. So the other one was for his mom. And so, ideally, I guess it probably would have been nice if I stole her the whole string of lights, but I just shown up with this bulb, right? So I bring the bulb to school, see Andrew in the next class, and Andrew's like, dude, get that out of here. Put that back. That's fucking illegal. I'm going to get caught. Because I tried to give it to him. I'm like, yo, Andrew, I got a present. Give your mama this. Like, tell her Caleb said you're welcome. He's like, no. Like, you fucking... And he's freaking out. Like, thinks he's going to jail, basically, by even touching that. So that was all funny. He would not take the bulb. That's cool. I can reroute. I can work around the issue. So, come lunchtime, I'd been texting friends with cars like, yo, anybody, like, please, I'll buy you lunch. I just need a drive out to Andrew's house. And so one of my friends I bought him some AMW. Then he drove us out to Andrew's mom's house. She was home, thank God. I don't know what her schedule is, but she was home at lunch. So I ring the doorbell. She never met me, not once. And so I ring the door. I'm like, hey, my name's Caleb. I'm a friend of your son's. And he told me you were looking for these. And so I present to her this stolen fucking globe-sized light bulb. And she looks at it and she's like, oh, thank you. Like, that's so lovely. Thank you very much. We get the fuck out of there. I don't say nothing to Andrew about what I done did at lunch. The next day, he comes back, light bulb and tote, livid. Like, yo, you get this stolen shit in my house, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it was worth every fucking last amount of effort I put into it. So he gave me the light bulb back, and we probably smashed it at lunch or some shit, and that was that. So if you kids are bored next Christmas and you want something to do, don't say I told you so. All right, I'll wrap this up, and part 2, we'll finish up high school and get to my life after high school. That's where I learned all my stuff and became more the man you see today. Nonetheless, my past always plays a part, as it does with us all. So, for now, peace out. Love you all. Get the fuck out of my room. Bye.